Hello, friend. I'm Pat Boone. I'm a granddaddy now, and one of the things I most enjoy is reading a good book to my grandkids. It's a special experience for them and for granddaddy as well. Now, I'd like to do something special, read something to you that I think you're going to enjoy. It's a wonderful Christmas book for kids. It's called Little Star, written by a longtime friend of mine named Anthony DeStefano, who's written some other best selling books for kids. This one, I think, is destined to become a classic. Little Star. I think you're going to enjoy it as much as I do. This is the story of the little star. Dad, which one is the Christmas star? The boy asked, straining his eyes as he looked out at the clear, dark sky. The father, smiling, looked down at his son. Don't hurt your eyes looking for him. You won't find him. He's not up there anymore. Where is he? Where did he go? You mean I never told you the story of the Christmas star before? No, Dad, never. The boy shook his head. Please tell me. Well, a long time ago, in the farthest corner of the universe, there was a tiny star. In fact, he was the smallest star in the heavens. His name was Little Star. Little Star was sad and lonely. The other stars didn't make fun of him. They simply ignored him because he was so tiny. But what can be worse for a star than to be ignored? After all, stars do little more than decorate the sky. They help pass the long evenings by twinkle talk. And there was a lot of twinkling going on. The other stars were all talking about a rumor they had heard for ages, a rumor that a king would soon be born on a faraway planet called Earth. It was known that the king had a special message that would change the whole world forever. As the great day approached, excitement among the stars began to build. A special reward was to be given to the star who could shine the brightest on the night the baby king was born. In preparation, the stars were being cleaned and dusted by long-tailed comets. They made them twinkle and sparkle and give off a much stronger light, all except Little Star, who was being ignored again, despite his tears. Little Star was so sad that his points drooped. How could an undusted star have any chance of winning the reward? Finally, on the coldest night of the year, one of the stars yelled, "It's happening! It's happening! The king is going to be born!" Far below, in the small village of Bethlehem, Little Star could see two people, a woman sitting on a donkey and a man walking beside her. He watched as they searched for somewhere to rest. It was bitter cold, and Little Star felt sorry for them. Wherever they went, no one seemed to want them. People can be cruel too, he thought. At last, the man and woman located a place to stay. It was a shabby stable, but at least it gave them protection against the icy winds. This is a strange way for a king to be born, thought Little Star. Then, with only the silent stars as witnesses, the child was born. The mother wrapped the baby in a blanket and carefully placed him in a straw-filled manger. The baby's name was Jesus. He can't be a king, one of the stars said. Kings aren't born poor. We've been fooled. Feeling disappointed, many of the other stars agreed. But Little Star kept looking down at the baby. Suddenly, a thought came to him. I think I understand, Little Star cried out. The baby Jesus is a king. He's just little. Little Star knew that Jesus could have chosen to be born in a palace surrounded by riches, but instead, he had humbled himself to be born in a stable. He didn't want to be rich and important. He wanted to be like the poorest of the poor. Jesus wanted to be born little to show all the people of the world that he loved them no matter how small or poor they were. Of all the stars in the heavens, Little Star was the only one to understand the king's message. His message was love. Little Star's heart was bursting with joy. He wanted so badly to touch the child. Trying as hard as he could, he used all his strength and might to reach out with his light toward the earth. Burning brighter and brighter, he extended his rays down to the village of Bethlehem, into the cold stable, warming and lighting it with his love. The other stars were amazed. They had never seen Little Star so big and bright, but they were scared that he was burning too brightly for such a small star. "Stop," they all yelled. "Stop, or you'll burn yourself out." Little Star could not hear their warnings. He was only aware of the child in the cold stable. All through the long, cold night, Little Star burned as brightly as he could so the baby Jesus could be warm. When dawn came, the star that no one had ever noticed was tiny and gray. "Little Star is gone," the other stars cried. "He burned himself out." "Well, son," said the father, "that's the story of the Christmas star. But he's gone." The boy felt very sad. No, he's not. He's not gone at all." The father patted his son's hand to reassure him. "You see, Little Star did a wonderful thing that night in Bethlehem. He gave his life so that baby Jesus could be warm. And God gave him a great reward in return. Little Star will be remembered forever and ever." "You mean Little Star isn't gone?" the boy asked. "No, he's alive," the father said. "Every Christmas when we celebrate Jesus' birthday, people all over the world place a star on top of their Christmas tree to remember him." The boy looked up at the star on top of the Christmas tree and smiled.
Very first children's books Anthony wrote, Little Star. It is my favorite one. And I thought, so many of us were so caught up with this election. So much has happened, as we know. And Father Pavone's been doing a great job encouraging us and telling us, and it's true, the election isn't over. Keep in mind, the Electoral College does not come together to vote till December the 14th. There's been a lot of irregularities in the swing states, and recounts are going to happen. The Trump campaign is fighting certain things in courts. So what we have to do, we have to stay calm and keep praying and fasting from now till December 14th. I believe in my heart of hearts, it's going to come out okay. And for some reason, if it doesn't, we will prevail because we've got God on our side. And so today's program, as you saw, I started with Little Star because I thought, right away, I think everyone needs a little Christmas. The stores have started to decorate for Christmas. Here at Priest for Life, my staff, we took down some of the Christmas boxes and we said, well, next week, maybe we'll start decorating for Christmas. I'm going to start decorating inside my house a little bit. I just think because we just need a little Christmas, right? We need Jesus now more than ever. And let's focus on the fact that he decided, like Little Star Story said, he came in to the poor of the poor, like all of us, to be part of us and to suffer and die for us. So I think it's time to think a little bit about Christmas. And I thought, just as a diversion, we'd have a little fun show today. By tomorrow, we'll get back to more serious topics. Okay, promise you. But for today, Little Star is a beautiful story. And if you stick with me near the end, what we're announcing today is our online store, prolifeproducts.org. We have begun our Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals now. Okay, and that's what I'm going to be introducing to you today. Some of the great deals that we have on our store for Christmas. And you can go to prolifeproducts.org, and right now our and those deals will stay straight through the rest of November. They'll end on November 30th at midnight, which is Cyber Monday. So Little Star is the first one, okay? And now, just this year, out in October, Anthony DeStefano wrote another story about Christmas called The Grumpy Old Ox. Did you ever think about those animals that were in the manger the night Jesus was born? Anyway, Anthony himself, now you're going to get to meet Anthony DeStefano in this next children's story. Matter of fact, if you have any children in the area that are watching, bring them around. Bring them around, whether you're watching on your computer or your phone or whatever, because now I'm going to let you watch the reading of The Grumpy Old Ox by our Vice Chairman of the Board, Anthony DeStefano. So let's take a look.
The Grumpy Old Ox, written by Anthony DeStefano, illustrated by Richard Cowdrey. There once was an ox, grumpy and old, blind as a bat, selfish and cold. Prideful and lame, with tired old bones, he lived in a stable, depressed and alone. Without any family and no friends in sight, he stayed by himself from morning till night. His master, like him, was stubborn and vain. He owned a small inn where visitors came. He gave the ox orders, the ox disobeyed. Defiant and willful, he wasn't afraid. The man took a broom and with a loud smack, he gave the old ox a whack on his back. You lazy and sightless and smelly old brute, the innkeeper shouted and kicked with his boot. The ox simply sneered and grumbled with pride. He limped to the stable and lay down inside. The stable was dark, but he didn't mind. He stayed there alone, just bitter and blind. Then, one black night, a door opened wide. A man and a woman were standing outside. The owner was with them. He said with a grin, "You'll have to stay here, no room at my inn." The ox strained his eyes, attempting to see. He barely detected the forms of all three. The lady was pregnant and heavy with child. The man held her hand and tenderly smiled. He put a small blanket on top of the dirt. The woman lay down, about to give birth. The innkeeper left them all cold and alone, without any food and so far from home. But something odd happened that memorable night, something that gave the ox quite a fright. A shutter flew open, and in flooded light. A star in the heavens was dazzlingly bright. It made the small stable feel pleasant and warm. In this simple setting, the child was born. Strange as it seems, the ox became sad because the young family was treated so bad. "I'm all by myself," the grumpy ox sighed. "The reason is that I'm so full of pride. But this little babe, so humble and poor, is guiltless and precious and perfect and pure." Just at that moment, he had an idea. He struggled to stand and limped over near the manger he ate from, all filled up with straw, and pulled it across the cold stable floor. He looked at the woman. In ox talk, he said, "Take my straw manger for your baby's bed." He limped to the pail from which he drank water. He picked up the handle and carried it toward her. He put the pail down and said with a bow, "Wash him with this. I'm not thirsty right now." The lady just smiled and patted his head. She understood somehow the things that he said. She bathed her small baby and dressed him in white. He slept in the manger throughout the cold night. Soon shepherds came in, along with their sheep. They knelt by the crib and watched the babe sleep. A donkey and camel came through the door. They walked very slowly and knelt on the floor. 3 figures followed. Each wore a crown, each bearing gifts, each kneeling down. What can be happening? Who can this be? The grumpy ox squinted. I wish I could see. He strained with his eyes and thought for a while, then looked at the child and started to smile. This baby is special, sent down from above. Yes, that's why this stable is so filled with love. That's why these people are worshiping him. He must be from God. He must be a king. The rest of the night, he knelt on the earth next to the feet of the girl who gave birth. The family soon left to find a new home. With everyone gone, the ox was alone. He thought of the babe, so loved and adored, while he, the old ox, was shunned and ignored. I'll try to be different, the grumpy ox swore. I won't be so prideful or mean anymore. He walked to the manger. His hunger was great. He stuck his head in and rapidly ate. Then he felt thirsty and looked over where the babe had been bathed in the bucket with care. He drank from the pail until he was done, and soon fell asleep outside in the sun. He slept and he slept and he slept through the night. He rose with the dawn and the soft golden light. But when he awoke and opened his eyes, the ox was amazed by a wondrous surprise. He looked all around, and what did he find? He couldn't believe he no longer was blind. The hillside, the village, the stable, the tree, all that he gazed at was plain as could be. He rubbed both his eyes, then rubbed them again. Now he saw donkeys and camels and men. All that was blurry was now crystal clear. Even the mountains appeared very near. He got to his feet and walked through the field. His leg was all better. His limp had been healed. He ran to the stable and danced through the door. He didn't feel grumpy or old anymore. The ox was so grateful he started to sing. It must be a gift from the king. The baby from heaven, it just has to be. I drank from the water and now I feel free. I ate from the manger and now I can see. He started to cry and shouted with glee. I can see, at last I can see.
Christmas Story from Anthony DeStefano. And here at Priest for Life, at our online store, we have now started today our Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals. Now, those 2 books that you just heard, 2 of them, Little Star and Grumpy Old Ox. Normally, the Grumpy Old Ox is brand new. It just came out. It's like $16. And Little Star is normally $10. That's $26, but we have a special deal happening right now. From now till including Cyber Monday, you can order both books for a special donation of just $20. That's a $26 value for just $20. So go to prolifeproducts.org, and these beautiful children's books could be gifts that you can give for your children, your grandchildren. I've given the books to my grandchildren, and they love them. I love reading it to them. And now the little older one, my older granddaughter, Lily, she can read the book herself now. So again, go to prolifeproducts.org, and you will see our special Cyber Monday and Black Friday deals that we're starting today, from now till then. So the next few weeks, we can take a little break from all this election news, just a little bit, and we could start our Christmas shopping. I started my Christmas shopping. I can tell you, it did make me feel a little bit better. I started this past weekend, and I actually took out my boxes with my wrapping paper. I actually started wrapping 1 or 2 gifts. It's a little bit of a diversion. But sometimes we just can't watch and listen to all this news every day, every moment. It can get you down. It can get you depressed. And I know if you tune into endabortion.tv, Father has been amazing with his talks and also his homilies. So I encourage you to tune in at 10 o'clock in the morning for his mass. And then in the evening at 9 p.m., he comes back and he gives a teaching in spite of what's going on. And he's also on a lot of phone calls with members of the campaign. And he gives us the up-to-date news about what's really happening with the litigation and the voting counting and all that. This way you don't have to rely on all the fake news that's out there. And unfortunately, I think, even Fox News has drank the Kool-Aid a little bit. Calling that election that night for Arizona was crazy when all the ballots hadn't even been counted. It was crazy. I mean, there's only a couple of them that I would trust anymore. People like Tucker Carlson or Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham. That's about it, I think. Some of those other commentators, I don't get it. It's sad. But endabortion.tv, we also get a lot of the feeds like you saw with Right Side Broadcasting. So we're going to always bring you the straight news, the straight story. Well, what I'd like to do right now is I made a little Christmas shopping video to introduce you to all the things we have on sale. It's not too long, about 10 minutes, because there's some really great gift ideas we have. And at the end, I'm going to tell you about some other special sales when we come back. So let's take a look at our Priests for Life Christmas shopping. Enjoy it. Janet Marana, the Executive Director of Priests for Life, and welcome to our Priests for Life Christmas shopping. With COVID-19, more and more people are just shopping online. So here at Priests for Life, we thought we would highlight to you our Christmas shopping ideas. The first one, got to put on my glasses, I can see, is called a book by Father Pavone called Proclaiming the Message of Life. This book is a great gift for priests, ministers, or deacons. What Father Pavone does in this book, the first few chapters, he talks about why is it so difficult to preach about abortion and the life issues? Why? What are the obstacles to overcome? And he helps dispel all the myths so that the clergy feel comfortable preaching on these topics. And then in the next part of the book, there are launching points for the Sunday readings for every Sunday throughout the whole liturgical calendar. And that's what's used by the common lectionary by many, many priests and, of course, ministers alike. So again, proclaiming the message of life. And of course, for us, lay people, it's a good book for us too, because you know why? We can look at the readings and Father's pro-life concepts for those readings before we go to services on Sunday. So again, proclaiming the message of life makes a beautiful gift for ourselves, but let's not forget our priests, deacons, and other clergy. With that also is another great idea. And this, I got to get my little stocking out here. This makes a really great stocking stuffer. It's called Pro-Life Reflections for Every Day. And what Father Frank Pavone does in this little book, he gives a scripture quote and then a reflection and a prayer for every day from the calendar year. And look what I'm going to show you. Everyone likes to get Christmas stockings. So you take this little book and boom, in the stocking it goes, right? Great stocking stuffer. Pro-life reflections for every day. Also, too, sometimes you want to give people a gift card and you just don't want it to be like shoved in a card and handed to them. What about getting Pro-Life Reflections for every day? Pop your little gift card inside, close it, and wrap that up. It makes a really great gift. So again, Pro-Life Reflections for every day. This also is a great idea for your volunteers. So many ministries have their volunteers. I know here at Priests for Life, our volunteers are the backbone of our ministry. So again, it's a great little gift, stocking stuffer for family and friends, but also let's not forget our volunteers. Well, also at Priests for Life, as you know, we have a great line of t-shirts. And you can go to prolifeproducts.org. That's where we'll have our Christmas shopping section. And we also have a complete gallery of t-shirts. But I'm going to highlight just 2 for the Christmas shopping season. It's our Mary, who is the one who said yes to life. And we celebrate, of course, the birth of Jesus, right? So we have Mary and Joseph and Jesus. But Mary, if she didn't give her yes, where would we be? So here we have this t-shirt here. It says, "Our mother chose life." And I think it's such a beautiful t-shirt. And this is available in sizes small, medium, large, extra large, and double X. And it also comes, this is a cranberry color. I personally, I'm partial to blue. So this is the same t-shirt in blue. Again, go to prolifeproducts.org and order our Mother Chose Life t-shirt. This is a great gift too for your teenagers and young people alike. And again, available in sizes small, medium, large, extra large, and even double X. Go to prolifeproducts.org and place your order for the lovely Christmas gifts. Now, let's not forget the children. Here at Priests for Life, we have a great author, a dear friend of our ministry, and he's part of our chairman of the board. And he really works tirelessly to assist Priests for Life with our finances and our legal matters. His name is Anthony DeStefano. He has written over a dozen children's books. And for Christmas, we have 2 beautiful ones. The first one he wrote for Christmas season is Little Star. And this happens to be one of my favorites. A lot of us have a star on top of our Christmas tree. Well, this book really highlights in the fact that the littlest star really becomes the star that shone and led the shepherds and the wise men to baby Jesus. And actually, if the story first starts out, everyone's not treating little star so nicely because they didn't think his light was bright enough. But then, as the other stars lost their shine, little star shone through on that beautiful Christmas night. So this is a great story for children because it shows that sometimes God uses the smallest and the weakest to do great things. So Little Star, it's a beautiful children's book, and the illustrations are just absolutely beautiful. Like here is Little Star, okay, in the book. There he is again. He's traveling. He's actually leading them. Here's a little child here talking to the father, and they're talking about the story of the Christmas star. And of course, at the end, there's the happiest picture of all. Let me find it for you. There's Little Star at the end, shining so brightly over the Christmas manger on that very, very first Christmas. So that's a beautiful, I've given this book to my grandchildren. They love reading it every year, and because they're old enough now they can read. But I used to read it to them too before they learned to read. So Little Star, it's a beautiful, beautiful book. And then finally, this is the newest book. It just was released in October by Anthony DeStefano, called The Grumpy Old Ox. Sometimes we don't think about the manger scene too much, right? We focus on, of course, the Holy Family. But there were a lot of animals there in that manger. So this story talks about the grumpy old ox. And this ox, he's mean-spirited and prideful and old, but he's also lost his sight. And because of the physical and spiritual experiences he was having, he gets transformed by the power of God after witnessing the birth of Jesus, and he changes. He changes from being the grumpy old ox to a really joyful, spirited, wonderful little ox. So again, another great story to show. Sometimes, we wake up, we feel a little grumpy that day, but we can overcome it with the power of the Lord. So Grumpy Old Ox and Little Star, two beautiful stories for your kids. And now finally, a gift for the whole family. Again, written by Anthony DeStefano. This is a beautiful set of 5 little gift books inside. It's called The Wonder of Life, and it's the five titles. I'm going to take them out and show them to you because I just love them. Let's balance that there. The first one, it's kind of very appropriate right now as we're going through the COVID crisis. It says, "I just can't take it anymore. Encouragement when life gets you down." And these stories too are also, there's a picture with each one and a little phrase underneath. So like here, this one says, "For some reason, I can't lose weight." And there's a picture of a little boy here with all these hot dogs and soda pop. And across the way, it says, "I seem to make a habit out of getting involved in the wrong relationships." And there's a little girl with a chimpanzee. Each and every page, it has something like that, a beautiful picture, illustration, and just some common sense little things. Like here, after all, I've noticed that bad things happen in life when often leads to something good. And then they have little kids here in a boat. So this is great. It's I Just Can't Take It Anymore. That's one of the gift books that's inside. The other titles are, Okay, I Admit It, I'm Afraid. Finding the courage to overcome life's problems. And again, so many of us have been dealing with a lot. People have lost jobs because of the COVID-19 crisis, and they just don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. And this can kind of put a smile on your face. Here's what it says. "I'm afraid of being bullied. I'm afraid of not being able to pay my bills." And how many people can identify with that? And the cute little pictures are inside. So again, that's the second gift book that's inside there. The next one is, "Why am I here anyway?" The simple answer to life's biggest question. Why am I here? What is the meaning of life? What is the purpose for living? This is, again, done with beautiful illustrations and cute little phrases that kind of get you thinking in a more positive direction. Let's see, we have 2 more. This is the Love Book, a simple guide to the most abused, confused, misused word in the English language, the word love. And again, beautiful pictures and beautiful sentiments under each picture. And then the final title is All This in Heaven Too, thanking God for the gift of life. And that's something we should do every day, right? Wake up in the morning. I know I do that. And I say, well, Lord, thank you for another day. Thank you, Lord. Let me get up this morning, breathe fresh air. I feel healthy. Thank you, Lord, for the gift of life. So again, all 5 books are included in this beautiful set called The Wonder of Life, available at prolifeproducts.org. And now I'm going to tell you something super special. Beginning after the election and up till Cyber Monday, so this has to do with Black Friday through Cyber Monday, we're going to have even other things on special sale just during that period. So beginning after the election, we're going to start showing this to you, this program. And up until midnight on Cyber Monday, which is the Monday after Thanksgiving, in addition to these products, we're going to have some special sales that you can really get a hold of. So again, go to prolifeproducts.org. All the information is there on the suggested donation for all these items and the special sales that we will have for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, but the sale will begin in early November. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a blessed Advent season, a prayerful time, and a very Merry Christmas. Thank you for shopping at prolifeproducts.org. And like we were saying, today, November 9th, today starts our Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale. You can start ordering immediately today. I already told you about the 2 children's books. You can have both of those for $20. And then also, if you order both of these, the Pro-Life Reflections and Proclaiming the Message of Life, book is normally $20, this book, and this is normally $7. But you can get both, again, during this special time of sale for just $20. Great gifts for yourself even. And then The Wonder of Life. This is a real super sale. This gift book, five books are in here. The gift set normally is $40. Our sale beginning today and ending on Cyber Monday, it's only $30. And that is an amazing deal. And I'm actually going to get a few of these because you know why? When I go visiting people during the holiday season, during Advent, whatever, I'm going to wrap these up and give it like a little house gift, like for the family. One gift for the whole family. It's a beautiful collection. And I think we need some of these sentiments right now. You heard this, I just can't take it anymore. Oh, I admit it, I'm afraid. Oh my goodness. When you listen to the news cycle, you just want to cry right now, right? I mean, I've been really watching a lot less news. I'll watch Newsmax. And like I said, Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, and then I'm about done. And you saw the beautiful Mary shirt. Well, we have what's called a buy one, get one. For every Mary shirt that you buy during this period of time, we're also going to give you a free our infanticide shirt that draws the attention on late-term abortion, which, as you know, the Democratic Party are 100% for. Democratic Party thinks it's okay to have abortion up till birth. So for every beautiful Mary shirt you buy, we're going to give you also absolutely free the infanticide t-shirt to keep spreading that message about how wrong infanticide is. Let those babies be born. Okay. And so they're all available, the shirts, like I said, small, medium, large, extra large, and even XXL. And if you order, let's say the Mary shirt, you can pick a size for the person you're giving the gift. But then if you want the infanticide shirt for yourself in a different size, they can be in different sizes. So it doesn't have to be the same size. So, and the infanticide shirt is while supplies last. Just know that. Okay. So again, thank you for joining us on this little Christmas shopping. I just thought we needed a little diversion right now with everything that's happening. And really stay informed by tuning into us here, EndAbortion.tv. Father Frank and I will be giving you all the updates on the situation without having to listen to the, like President Trump says, the fake news. Remember, nobody has been certified. No elections have been certified in the states yet. Therefore, to say that someone is a president-elect is really fake news, false information. Brothers and sisters, it would be one thing if candidate A already had such a majority of votes, like a landslide, against candidate B, but that's not the case. In at least 5 of these swing states where they're challenging it, the difference is like 1%, and some of them are less. Some of them it's 1.5% or 2% or less. That's all within a margin of error, and that's why we have to be patient, and we have to wait for all these ballots to be counted. I think we have, what's the website to buy the Christmas gifts? It's prolifeproducts.org. That's our online store. To buy the gifts I just showed you, prolifeproducts.org is where you go. There we go. There it is. There's the website where to buy that. So let's continue, to pray for the situation, pray for our president, pray for the vice president, their families. They've gone through so much. I mean, come on. Did you ever see so much campaigning out there with the people? Matter of fact, I keeping my Trump signs out in my yard. Okay. I'm not taking them down because this is not over. In my heart of hearts, I truly believe that on January 20th, I'm going to see Donald Trump standing on the steps of the Capitol, taking the oath of office once again, because justice has to prevail. It's going to go to the courts, and we have to be positive and prayerful. That's the mantra right now, positive and prayerful. I know Sean Hannity always says, let not your hearts be troubled. I think, it's very easy to get sucked into the depressed state where we feel sad about this whole thing right now. But just remember, God's in charge. I'll never forget how I felt when President Obama was elected. Oh boy, Was I depressed? Was I crying that night and upset? But the next morning I saw Father Pavone and he was positive as ever. I said, but Father, we have to be stuck with Obama. He said, that's okay, Janet. God's in charge and we're going to work harder than ever before to bring about a change. And really what happened in the 8 years of Obama, more pro-life laws were passed at the state level, even though we couldn't get anything done at the federal level. But at the state level, boy, a lot of good pro-life laws got enacted. And so there is some good news out there. Just keep in mind, the Democrats thought that they were going to take like the House even to a bigger sweep, and they didn't. In 2018, they got 47 seats more than we got, okay? And that's how they took control of the House. But now this year, they're only up 11, plus 11, and there's a few more races to be decided. So it wasn't a slam dunk. It wasn't a thing saying, "Oh yeah, we want them in office." No, a lot more pro-life. As a matter of fact, we had over 15 pro-life women, Republicans, were put into office in the House. So I know the Senate is still to be decided. We have 2 seats in Georgia that are going to run off January 5th. If you know people in Georgia, you got to start telling them now. They got to get to the polls for January 5th and vote for those Republicans, because that's 2 more seats we can get. So let's see, is there any more questions before we close? I'm just looking to see from my producer, any burning questions I have to answer? Otherwise, I think we're good. Okay, I think we're good. Well, that's Janet Moreno. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of a diversion. Enjoy some Christmas shopping at prolifeproducts.org. And tune in again tomorrow, where tomorrow my guest is going to be Alveda King. And she's got a lot to say about this whole election business, especially she's from Georgia. Okay, so that's for now. This is Janet Moreno, Executive Director of Priests for Life. We'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks and God bless.